Congratulations! You have completed the first reading, comparative reading, and skill lessons for She Unnames Them. Now it's time to put this all together and do a close reading and writing response, applying the skills that you've learned. Our learning objective is to write a short response in which you will discuss how writers use language to develop themes. Before you begin, let me provide some guidance, suggestions, and framing of the prompt. First, review the story and your annotations, and keep these questions in mind as you're reading through again. In this text, the power of words has a lot to do with names and naming others. Why do names matter in this text? And what does Eve realize over the course of the story about the power of names and the act of naming? Going through these modules is better with a partner. Before you start writing, I would highly recommend finding a partner and discussing the skill-focused questions that are beneath this video. I would also suggest taking notes on your discussion that you can use to develop your response to the writing prompt. Remember that theme is the central idea or message of a work of literature. It often teaches a lesson about life. In your discussion, focus on different lessons about life the authors could be trying to convey. Let's read through the prompt together. Compare and contrast. Philosopher Susan K. Langer said, "The very notion of giving something a name was the vastest generative idea that was ever conceived. The plot of She Unnames Them, which centers on the voluntary unnaming of Eve and the animals, plays an important role in communicating a theme concerning hierarchy. Using She Unnames Them and I Am Offering This Poem as sources, discuss how writers used language to develop themes and ideas, and how those words give the themes and ideas power." Okay, let's break this down a little. You know from the very beginning of the prompt that this is going to be a compare and contrast response. The end of the prompt tells us that it's going to be a comparison and contrast between She Unnames Them and I Am Offering This Poem. You already practiced with these two texts in the skill lesson for comparison and contrast. It might be worthwhile to review that skill before you complete this writing response. The prompt then says that the voluntary unnaming of Eve and the animals plays an important role in communicating a theme concerning hierarchy. So, we don't have to do a lot of guessing about what the theme of the story is. The prompt just told us. The theme is about hierarchy, and the events or plot of the story tie into that theme. And here is our task. Discuss how writers use language to develop themes and ideas. Here is where you can put the other skill lesson to work. Allusion. Remember that allusion is a type of figurative language, just like metaphor. Think about how the author of She Unnames Them used allusion to craft her story and develop her theme about hierarchy. This might be a good time to review the allusion skill lesson if you feel lost. Also, think about how the writer of I Am Offering This Poem used metaphor to develop his theme. In summary, you are comparing and contrasting She Unnames Them with I Am Offering This Poem. You are comparing their themes. In particular, you are looking at how She Unnames Them centers on a theme of hierarchy. Is that the same theme as I Am Offering This Poem? Or does that poem communicate a different theme? Finally, put the skills that you practiced to work by thinking about how both authors used figurative language, such as allusion and metaphor, to develop their themes. Your writing response should be around 2 or 3 paragraphs and should use evidence quoted directly from both texts. These writing prompts are designed to be challenging, but I believe you've got this. Let me know if I can help.